Hello and welcome back to my targetable list. Before we get started, we're going to quickly remind you, please like, comment, share and subscribe. This is really important to the podcast growing, and we need all the help that you guys kindly give us. We're going to talk about today Adrian Peterson. He's number 4 on my list, and I'm going to talk about him in the most positive way possible. But amazingly, his ADP keeps dropping. His current ADP on Fantasy Pros is 77. Nobody is giving this guy any love, and I think that is plain daft and crazy. For me, he has the potential to do so much. I guess we could look at, first of all, the risks. I mean, obviously, he's 32 now. He's not going to help you in Dynasty much because his value is going to be pretty limited. But, you know, if you want to win Dynasty now, this is a player that you could target very cheaply in many cases. You could probably give away a second-round rookie or a third-round rookie and probably pick up AP in some Dynasty leagues. So that makes him incredibly targetable. I personally think that this guy can give you an amazing year this year. How good could it be? Well, I can't, as I said previously, I can't not pick him. He's too good value in where he's dropping to. He's a player, every time I've doubted him, he's come bouncing back and done the most amazing thing. And when you consider he's a player that's capable to do what he did in his previous season before he was injured. I mean, remember, he got 1,485 yards, 11 touchdowns a season plus ago. Last year he was very much banged up from the beginning of the year, and sure, there are concerns maybe he's worn down his best days along behind him, but let's be honest, when he had major injuries, everybody thought the same, and the next year he came bouncing back and gave us a 2,000 yard season, the like of which you would never have believed possible. I think the guy is in a fantastic situation. I think, look at New Orleans Saints, look at how they like to spread the ball around, look who he's got beat out for the top job in Ingram. I don't think anybody can really argue that Ingram is really much of a threat to Adrian Peterson. I think the truth of the matter is that he's going to catch an absolute ton of passes in New Orleans. Who can argue that? I mean, this is Adrian Peterson, really. He can improve on his numbers. I mean, the last time, I mentioned this before, the last time he had a quarterback who could actually throw him a ball was in 2009 when he had Brett Favre. And in that year, he caught 43 balls he caught for 436 yards. And I think that's very possible this year. Somewhere in that range, 50 plus balls in 2017 is very doable. On top of his running back ability. I mean, what is not to like about them? I say to anybody, doubt him all you want. I can understand the reasons why you would. But I'm suggesting that before you cast him aside and rule him completely out, which I would understand if he had one more very bad year. But at that ADP value, this guy can win you a fantasy championship. He could be the third running back you've drafted. He may be even your fourth. And do you know what? You could be sitting there loaded at RB. Or at the very least, in a zero RB draft, this is going to be a guy that could be your number one RB. And imagine you're getting early RB2 numbers or even high-end RB1 numbers from him. Can you imagine how good your team could potentially be? So I don't doubt this guy at all. I think he's capable of 50 receptions, 1,400 yards in that New Orleans offence. I really believe in him for this year. And I believe he's going to produce something exceptional. I cannot doubt him. I know there'll be people who doubt this and will say, no, he's washed up, he's gone. I will never rule him out till the day he retires. I'm behind him fully this year, and I think you should give him some serious consideration for your team. You've got to remember where he's going for his ADP. There are always risks. I think if you listen to what I said to you before about the metrics, the first round talent 80%, the second round talent 75%, and so on, as it drops down into those rounds, and we are talking about 77%, the reality there is this is a risk worth taking. You lose nothing at that point in the draft, and you could be looking at a steal, and you could have a championship high scoring team. Who doesn't want that?